Hi, we are back to sewing. I'm so excited. I've been waiting all week for this. I've been pretty busy, so I'm glad we're getting to it because I love these mustard colors. So we are gonna get it going. So this is one section here, and this is another section. So we're going to sew along the long edge here. So what I'm going to do is I'm not pinning to like super hold. I'm just going to pin so I can keep it together when I move over. I'm actually going to put the darker color on the side of all of them. That way I'm consistent when I'm at the machine. There's that one. There's this one. I encourage you to take a picture of your layout. That way, when you go to the machine, you remember what it looks like. So for this, for my ease, since I can't access my phone, since I'm using it to film, I am going to put these, I'm going to change this one. I'm going to put these letter numbers on this one, and I'm actually going to stick a little letter in it like that. So that's going to go, those are going to go together. And then for these, I'll do the yellow, the bright yellow on top. I will use non-letter ones. I don't have the same color of those, but that will work. Just line that up. Use one of those. And this is great for chain piecing. You can chain all of these at one time. And we'll pin that one. And then I'm just going to stick, not that you wouldn't know, that's the only other one. Oh, that one's about to break. I'll put that one in the sharps container and that one. All right, now we can head over to the machine and chain piece these together. All right, I've finished sewing the two pieces together. Super, super simple. And so now I'm just going to put them back around the triangles like this. So you know how to put them like that, and like that. All right, so now what you do is you're going to sew this to this side like this, and it lines up so nice and neat. Sew across here, and then I'll just press open with my finger, then sew this one on, press with my finger, and sew this one on. So let's move over to the machine, and I'll show you how these match up while you're sewing them. Okay, I'm at the machine, and somebody said something about it not being quite up close enough last time, so I've gotten kind of close, and hopefully you can see it just a little bit better. So what I have here is I've got the center triangle right here, and I did this the first time, so be sure and remember that you're actually going to sew across this center seam. I sewed down one of the sides of the triangles the very first time I did this, and I was like, oh, got to get Jack out. All right, so we're going to sew right across the bottom right here. Very simple sewing this time. We're just going to slide it under there. Using my stiletto to keep it down. Okay. All right, I'm just going to press it with the By Annie. I know the lighting, I got to work on the lighting. A little bit dark. Okay, finger pressing that down basically. Now I'm going to take the next piece and match it up. See if that helps a bit. Yes, that definitely helps. Okay. So when you're matching up the seams here. You've got the little across there. You're going to match up. Can you see it? Ooh, this is hard to show on the side like this. Let me get it kind of matched up. You are going to match it up with that. It kind of naturally, naturally matches up with that little triangle right there. I will wish there was a better way for me to show you that without it looking so odd. Okay, let's zoom back in. Oh, that went way out. Zoom back in. I'm going to get a little bit closer. There we go. So I've matched up the one end right across like that. You'll see it when you're starting to do these. You can see how they match up. And then just sew across. Let me fix this up a little bit. It's gotten a little out of place. So like that. All right. Hopefully you can see it now that it's done. So to come back out. I'm trying to come back out. It's hard to do it on this machine. I'm a little frustrated. I'm trying to do the video things. Okay, so you've got the triangle there, and you matched up with that little point on this side. You see one sticking up, and it's matched up with the other one. I'm going to finger press this one down. Wow, guys, I'm really trying with the videos. That's something I'm not an expert at. So I may take some pictures of this too to show you. So we're matched up there, and we're matched up. We've got it there. Okay, we're very close. That's part of the problem. Okay, so now we are going to sew the last one on. I was trying to see. I don't have a way to zoom. There we go, a little bit like that. Zoom out just a little bit. Okay. So again, don't sew it down. Don't sew it down with like this. You're always going to want to cross that seam right there. That's, believe me, I did it. I'm not a perfect sewer like anyone else, and I make mistakes too. So right there is your point. You see it kind of sticking off like that, sticking out. You are going to match that point with that point. And then on the other side, you're going to match that point with that point. It sews together really super easily. Line it up. Make sure I'm all open there. All right. And just like that, you have your triangle all done. One of the triangles all done. So before I sew these together, I'll give them a good iron, not just a finger press, basically. And then we'll attach them together. All right, let's see if we can do one more. I'm going to back it up just a little bit. So now that you're not trying to see, I'm going to back it up just a little bit so I can show you this next one a little better. All right, so we've got the triangle, and we've got the pieces that we sewed together. Again, you're not going to sew it like this down one side. You're always going to sew over this middle seam. So you can match it up to any side, it doesn't matter. And that's the seam that I'm going to sew. So we're going to put it on the machine. I like to start with needle down. Where's my stiletto? Okay. And I use my stiletto to hold that piece down. Simple sewing. Okay, so now this piece is sewn together. I'm going to press it, finger pressed, better than I can without the stiletto. Okay, so then we take another one. Again, we're going to sew over this seam because it's an equilateral triangle, so it's easy to just, forget that you're doing that. So that's a good way to do it. So over the seam. All right. Now, hopefully you can see this. When you iron this open, you have this little piece that sticks out right there. That's going to line up with that piece. And then you're going to line up the other side. This is the other side. And then you lay it down. Make sure your seam is open. My seam kind of closed up. Make sure your seam is open. And then you're going to sew down that edge. And I always get a little off and I have to adjust after I get started. Hold that seam down really fast. This block is really, really fast. All right, so now we have two sides. Now that you can see it a little better, two sides. And we're going to put the last piece on. Oh, I got to finger press it. I really do like this by Annie stiletto. One of my favorite notions. Just really give it a good. But if you have the Violet seam roller, please use that. Use your favorite notions. Just because I'm talking about what I have does not mean that they're the end all be all. Okay, so we're lining up with the little points here and the point here. And then the super easy month, super easy block. Only one seam to match up. I'm really excited about that. That makes for fun sewing. All right. We have sewn our two triangles together, just as simple as that. So we've got this triangle and we have got this triangle. We're going to iron it and then come back here to sew the two triangles together. Okay, we're back at the machine. We have ironed out the blocks. Here's one block and here is another block, and we are going to sew these together. So the point, you're going to have, whoops, here we go. One point face another point. It's hard for me to hold it and get it in the camera. Point and point. It's easier to go down on it. All right, so points match points. Very, very simple. So with this, we are going to offset. I'm going to look, how can I show you this really, really closely? I'm going to match the two triangle points up, and that's how I'm going to pin it. I think that that'll just work better because those seams match up pretty straight, but I'm going to really take care and match those 2 points up. And it did offset it just a little bit. All right, I'm going to pin there and let's see how perfectly that gets. That same thing that I told you last month where the middle seam matches up with that outer seam allowance part. Let's see how much that helps. Because it looked pretty straight on to me, but obviously it wasn't. Nope, I want to start needle down. All right, one more time. And my machine's messing up. It got buried in there. I don't know where my leader is. I missed it this time. So let me take some of those threads out. I'm going to be editing this film a lot. All right. Bunched up. I think it's because I started without the needle down. Okay. I have a better feeling about this one. I should have matched up those triangles to begin with. I still like to use the stiletto to hold all that down, match up this end that kind of got out of track. All right. Second time's a charm, right? The whole measure twice and cut once. I need to mind that. And that looks so much better when I paid attention to those triangles. So now we're going to iron that, and I really like that. Looks just spot on. Perfect. Match the triangles, the triangle tops. So I'm going to iron that. Just be sure to iron all your seams open. It just lays better when you're putting them all together. So I'm just going to iron that right there and meet you back at the cutting table. Okay, we are actually done with these blocks. Okay, so here is the yellow one that we just sewn, and look how nicely that matched up. I'm really happy with that. I'm really happy with that. So my kind of what you need to do when you're matching those seams, you have to get a little fussy. Julie has some good videos. I'm going to try to drop them in the Facebook group so she can, she has better videos than what I'm capable of making and what I have the expertise in doing to match up those seams. I'm kind of flying by the seat of my pants. I basically did this so long so we could have fun together, not as an expert. So anyway, sometimes it works for me and sometimes it doesn't. So that one's really nicely done. And this one's just slightly off right there. But what I like about this one, even though it's slightly off, is it's got nice points. So I'm not going to redo this one. I'm going to leave this one as it is because I think it looks good just like it is. So there are your 2 blocks for this month. And that was super fun. Just one seam. Woo-hoo-hoo. Pretty easy sewing. We work with Hexies next month, so I am very, very, very excited. And let's see, I'm trying to think. If you're going to be at QuiltCon in Raleigh, North Carolina, stop by our booth and see us and tell us that you're a part of the sew along, because I would really, really love to meet some of you. I know some of my normal customers are with us, but there's a lot of you that I'm not really familiar with, and I would love to get to know you. So stop by our booth. If you're going to go to QuiltCon in Raleigh, we will be there. All right, next month we're working with Hexies. I'm excited about that. I love Hexies. We will see you then.